Hi everybody, welcome to this video. Today we have a huge haul. At the start of July I finished my 50 book number goal for the year already. Yes. So yay for finishing that. And in celebration I went book shopping, of course. So I have a haul of everything I got. I went to 4 places. I went to Kmart, Big W, Fables and Froth, Indie Bookshop, and QBD, and got some really cool treasures and interesting reads for my TBR. And yeah, a celebration, of course, for already achieving it. I have reset my number goal to 100 books before the end of the year. Whether I reach that or not is the question, but I'm not too worried if I do or I don't because I've already reached my goal of 50 books, so yay. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I grabbed, read some of the descriptions as well on the back. That's why I have my trusty glasses with me today. And yeah, there's a bit of everything, fantasy mostly. But there's a little bit of romance and a little bit of mystery in there as well. I'm not sure where to start. We might start with this bit first. This one has my Kmart and my Big W books in here, and then we'll go to QBD and Fables and Froth after that. So I was just looking for anything that sparked interest to me pretty much, and there was no budget involved. It was just a huge celebration mode. So yeah. So first up we have books that we got from Kmart. They're just in the Big W bag as well. This one with this gorgeous cover. No, I did not actually pick it up for this gorgeous cover. I first thought that this was a fantasy book, but it's not. It's called Nightshade, and it's by Autumn Woods, and it's actually a mystery murder revenge story. And it says, welcome to Sorrow Song University. So this is book 1, so it's obviously going to be a series. And it says, he'd burned down the world for her, but she plans to burn his to the ground. Ophelia wants revenge. Isolated in the Scottish Highlands, Sorrow Song University welcomes students from the most powerful families. Ophelia doesn't belong, but a rare scholarship grants her the perfect opportunity to investigate the accidental death of her parents near the castle grounds. So that alone itself is just like grabbing. Things get off to a rocky start when she runs afoul of the mysterious Alex, son of her prime suspect. As far as she's concerned, he's just a younger version of his billionaire father, a monster hiding beneath a beautiful facade. And obviously something will happen in that relationship, I'm sure. When an unknown tormentor begins to stalk Ophelia, she realizes she may not be able to survive Sorrow Song on her own. So Alex becomes her unexpected ally and her alibi for murder. But as she starts falling for the soft heart that hides beneath her hard exterior, her hunger for revenge wavers for the first time. Can she bring herself to destroy everything that he's ever known? So yeah, I just thought that sounded really, really good and really, really down my alley as well. Plus a bonus for a gorgeous cover. So number 2 from Kmart was this fantasy one here by Bridget Knightley, The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy. And I've heard really, really good things about this book, so that's why I grabbed it. Live, Love, Loathe delve into this wit, smart, slow burn, enemies to lovers romantasy, featuring a scholarly healer and a gentleman assassin set in an exquisite fantasy world from this debut author. So, I'm not going to get these pronunciations of these names right, so I'll just say, member of the Freyan Order of Assassins is in dire need of healing, naturally, such as the grim comedy of fate. The only healer who can help her is A, preeminent scientist based on moral good and member of an enemy order. A is desperate for funding to heal the sick, so desperate that when O bribes her to help him, she accepts, even if she detests him and everything he stands for. I'll have to look up how to pronounce their names. A forced collaboration ensures this brilliant woman in STEAM is coerced into working with PhD in murders, much with A's disgust. As they work together to heal his illness and investigate the mysterious reoccurrence of a deadly pox, they find themselves denying their attraction, which only fuels heat between them. So yeah, another interesting one. And then the last one that I got from Kmart is Things for Nothing. This one I actually had in my mind to get, as I heard it's like a cozy vampire kind of read, and it's a new release as well. So it says on the front, small town book club, big vampire energy. It's by Stephanie Holmes. And on the back we have a cozy paranormal romance featuring a grumpy vampire and sunshine human, a meddling book club and a compelling murder mystery, and endless cups of tea. Lord Alaric has a problem. His mother is visiting his castle for the first time, but she doesn't know that A has filled every room with centuries of his artistic projects. Desperate, he hires professional organizer Winnie to help him tame the mess. Yet A isn't prepared for a bubbling, passionate Winnie to show up at the castle. She sets his fangs on edge. But the more he works with her, the more he wishes she could be his. To complicate things further, A's mother arrives with a surprising tow, a bride. Shocked and dismayed, A convinces Winnie to pretend to be his fiancée to avoid the dreaded union. What could go wrong? For one thing, Winnie still doesn't know A is a vampire. And another, Winnie's meddling book club suspects A of a mysterious murder in the village. Will their maybe not so fake relationship survive when he discovers the monster that lives beneath the fangs? So yeah, I was keen to get that one. And they're the three that I grabbed from Kmart. So our treasures are next from Big W. And the first one I got was Murder Off the Books. I do have the first two in this series, which are called Buried in a Good Book and On the Spine of Death. Buried in a Good Book is actually on my July TBR, which I'll read during the month. And I thought I would pick up this third one while I saw it in the shop, because sometimes things just disappear after a bit. So this one, they're all by Tamara Berry. And Murder Off the Books says on the back, being an author can really be a murder. Best-selling author Tessa's career is doing well thanks to real-life crimes she solves and minds for material, but she's developed a reputation for putting herself and her family in harm's way for the sake of the story. So Tess decides to drum up positive press by combining her new bookstore opening and release party in one. Matters aren't helped when her mum unexpectedly sweeps into town with her notorious murder boyfriend in tow. Sure, Levi was technically cleared of charges, but Tess doesn't trust him and what he wants with her lonely, wealthy mother. Tess doesn't hesitate to take the news straight to the sheriff, but she's already too late. Levi has been murdered. The last thing Tess wants to be involved in yet another investigation, but this one is too close to home to ignore, especially the famous podcaster arrives to steal Tess's thunder. If Tess wants to protect her town, her family, she needs to get to the bottom of things without stumbling on any other murders in the process. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into this series, and the first one, as I said, is on my TBR for July, so that one is the third one. This next one I was so excited to come across. It has a New York building on the side, any guesses? And gorgeous cover, it's hardcover. It's Summer in the City by Alex Asher, and it's actually the American version. It actually has the New York map in it. It's like their special edition. I was so surprised to come across this. So shocked. And I had to grab it. So this was at Big W as well. Yeah, so one summer, two enemies, one will apart. Summer in the City by Alex Asher. It's not summer here in Australia, so it'll have to wait for summer, but I had to grab it. Yeah. So inside it says 27-year-old screenwriter Elle has the chance of a lifetime to write a big budget movie set in New York City. The only problem, she's had writer blocks for months and her screenplay is due by the end of summer. Desperate for inspiration, Elle returns to NYC, the city she hates, and tries to throw herself into her writing, but then she meets her new neighbor, Parker. He's the city's handsome tech billionaire, and she's also the guy Ellie hooked up with 2 years ago. When seeing him again turns into a night of hate-fueled writing, Ellie realizes Parker might just be her twisted muse. So when Parker needs to fake a steady relationship during his company's precautious acquisition, Elle needs to research a list of classic date spots in the city for her screenplay. They suddenly find they might just be exactly what they need for each other. Summer always ends, and so will this agreement. It's all pretend promise until it isn't. But yeah, I was super excited to get the American special edition of this. I was just like in shock that it was at Big W. So check out your Big W's if you really want this edition of it. So yeah, that was exciting. Another awesome special edition that I got has this gorgeous edging, sprayed edge. This book is called A Forbidden Alchemy by Stacey McGowan. I love the colours all put together. I didn't actually hear about this book until I found it in Big W. It says a deadly secret, a fated pair, an impossible choice. It is a new release. And it says on the back, book talk star Stacy's new slow burn romantasy series follows a fated pair who are thrust into opposing factions of a violent class war. Nina and Patrick are only 12 when they are whisked away to their disfranchised mining towns to dazzling Belrave City to be tested for magical abilities. So it's all like magic kind of based. Nina's dream is to become an artisan, a powerful elemental mage who fulfills the city's grand ambitions, while Patrick wants only to return to his family as a craftsman. Together they discover a devastating secret. Artisans aren't born but chosen. Within this information, they take their future into their own hands. Patrick departs for home and Nina finds her place as one of the rarest, most coveted types of artisan. When a craftsman revolution ignites years later, Nina is captured by Patrick's rebel group. And despite the years, he hasn't forgotten her. In fact, he needs her help for a mission that could shift the tides against the city, which she accepts, battling the sparks between them. But when Nina's first love reappears, asking her to betray Patrick, she faces an impossible choice that will determine the fate of their world. So I just thought that sounded really good. And of course, it's a gorgeous edition. So yeah, I had to grab that. This isn't a book, but I wanted to show you guys as well. I found this in Big W. It's a romantasy sticker book. For all those sticker lovers out there. So yeah, it's got like so many stickers in it. So many. And I'm a big sticker person for my planning and everything, and I just thought I would treat myself to that as well in my haul. Apparently there's over 500 plus stickers. And I was thinking after I use the stickers, they got these gorgeous packing papers, so I could use it in my like scrapbooking and stuff, and journaling and stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to show that off as well, that I got from Big W as a little extra treat I got myself, but it is bookish. Okay, so before we do QBD, I will do Fables and Froth. Let's take these off for a minute. So Fables and Froth is a local bookshop that I hang at all the time. My goal when I was shopping here was to look for just like indie authors or unique authors that aren't really heard of, and not really like out there in the wide world. They're like harder to come by. So that was my goal when I was at Fables and Froth for my haul there. And yeah, let's take a look and I'll share what I got. So the first one here is fan fiction. Yes, I am kind of gathering all the vampire kind of stuff I can. I've been hooked on vampire stuff since I actually read an indie series which was vampire based from this shop, and I've been hooked on vampires ever since. I'm even rewatching Buffy, strangely enough, which was like a show when I was like a kid at school. So yeah, that's a bit of fun. Anyway, back to this book, Fan Fiction. She's out for adventure, he's out for blood. It's by Kate Stamen London. So this one's just like a general author, but one I haven't actually come across out in the world. This was in the romance section. So it says on the back, the world of your favorite fantasy novels is real and you're invited to visit. The only catch, it's filled with thirsty vampires. Tess is no stranger to the dark. A grad school dropout, chronic insomniac. She spends her nights managing a chick Brooklyn hotel, and her day is curled up with her favorite vampire novels. Tess even dabbles in online conspiracies that blood feud is real, but she doesn't believe vampires actually exist until one walks through her door. It turns out the sexy villain of blood feud is trapped, and only Tess can rescue him. Eager to escape her life, Tess agrees to help, and soon she's on a secret island where the sun never shines, surrounded by deadly vampires. And most terrifying of all, she's falling in love with one of them. Visiting the world of your favorite story is any fan's dream, but can Tess outrun the demons of her past before it becomes a nightmare. So yeah, I thought that would be cool. And yeah, it's got a quote on here by the author Lila Stage, which is Done and Dusted author. She said, "A campy, fantastical vampire story that feels deeply and profoundly human." And Alyssa said, "A bloody good time, as in blood." So yeah, that was one pickup. The next one, I asked the girls there for some suggestions and what they newly got in and stuff. And this was one of them, A Song of Death and Desire, by Beck Eden. This is part of the Sirens of Witch Code, and it is a indie author, so it has like a signed part, and it came with a couple of bookmarks, which is fun. And this one says, "Bound to see, cursed to consume, such is the siren's tune. Eat your food, make it fast, and never let a human pass." So it's kind of Little Mermaid inspired. Chiari has always longed for more than cold depths of the ocean, more than the endless hunger raging inside her daily. When she spares Egan, a man whose soul should have been hers, she breaks the oldest rule of her kind. Now both are haunted, he by visions of a woman and a song he can't escape, and she by the desire to become what she can never be. In a world where love and death dance too closely, Chiari must face the prince of defying fate, while Egan must uncover the truth before it consumes them both. But can a lad born of defiance ever truly escape the curse that binds it? So yeah, it sounds like an interesting one, so I grabbed that, and I always like my fairy tale adaptions. The next one I got was called Control My Night, and it's by Sarah Rolcham. It just sounded really interesting, and this one was also suggested by the girls, and is also a signed copy, and a bookmark and a thank you card and stuff. So on the back it says, Control Your Night is a fast-paced urban fantasy romance set on the memorizing backdrop of modern-day Prague, and is the first in a series of interconnected standalones. The strongest cage is made of lies. So Harass Kiana is business smart and street naive, something she's kept off her resume, that she is an untrained banshee armed with a unique and deadly wail. But an accident leaves Kiana with blood on her hands. She's snatched from the streets by criminals determined to weaponize the beast lurking within her. If Prague is a chessboard, I would say rules one side, and he needs Kiana, his new pawn, to find his missing daughter, forced into service alongside Artwood's henchmen. Kiana realized that mastering her inner beast is the only way to outwit a man who is always 2 steps ahead of her. Sorry, I'm getting a bit tongue-tied. Her only ally is a prisoner called Silas. He's just as charismatic as he is secretive, and he has his own reasons for working with Arwood. As in their forbidden relationships develops, Kiana sinks further into the world and she desperately is trying to escape. She soon discovers her earning her freedom may not cost her, but it may cost her heart, but everything she's ever known to be true. So yeah, it just sounded really interesting. So yeah. The next 2 that I got from Fables and Froth are actually part of a set of 4, so a series that I have been eyeing off ever since the shop opened. So I decided to get the first 2 books in that series because I keep eyeing them off and reading the back of them all the time. So I thought, okay, today is the day to shout myself these 2. So the first one is called Prince of Never, and they're both by Juno Hart. So let me just see. On the back of this one it says, a fey prince with a poisoned heart, a mortal girl with a magical voice, neither one believes in fairy tales. City waitress Lara has the voice of an angel and no idea she smarts with the fated mate of a silvery-eyed royal from another realm. When she falls into fairy, which is the land, she meets a noxious huntsman who mistakes her for a troll. She's amazed to discover he's the cursed Prince of Air in disguise. Eva's mother, the Queen, is less than impressed. The opposing court of technic-loving Unselly want her as their very own pet, and an evil heir, Marge, wishes her dead. Held captive by elemental fate of the Land of Five, she suddenly hit rock bottom. But Sans willed power, and Lara happens to be a true diva. Now, if only she can use her magical skill to make the Prince of Never a little less attractive. And then it says the first thing she wants is to find a way back home, and the last is to fall in love. So yeah, one book that I've been eyeing off forever. And then I got the second one, which is called Prince of Then. I'll just read a couple of things on the back. Actually, I'll read it all, yeah. Little does he know he now holds his mate in his mercy inside one big cottage deep in the woods of Fairy, which is the land. A wounded fey prince, a human healer who kisses restores his warning power, the beginning of an ancient curse. So this one says Holly wants nothing more than to heal her mother to live a simple village life, but fate has other plans, such as sending her through a portal to die at the hands of the Brody Fey Prince, who thinks she's a sorceress from another realm. Gadriel, the Prince of Five, fears he'll never find his fated mate, the girl who subdue the curse burning through his blood and restore his kingdom to glory. Wounded, far from home, he captures a human girl, and instead of acting on his first violent impulse, he forces her to help him. So yeah, it just sounds like a really, really good series. So yeah, super keen to get to that. I'll definitely put the first one on my TBR cart. And then we have the last books, which are in this QBD bag here. So yeah, if you've read any of these, let me know in the comments what you thought of them, or if you're keen to get them yourself, let me know as well. So I got a few treasures from community as well. I had a few books in mind that I wanted to grab there, like a bit of a list. So I just got what I could find on the day. And the first one is Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I loved Daisy Darker, so I want to read more books by this author. And it says on the back, 10 years of marriage, 10 years of secrets, an anniversary they'll never forget. Adam and Amelia are spending their weekend in the Scottish Highlands. The remote location is perfect for what they have planned, but when their romantic trip takes a dark turn, they both start to wonder, can they trust the one that they're with? Because every couple tells white lies, only for Adam and Amelia the truth is far more than dangerous. I've heard lots of great things about this one as well, so yeah, this will be my next Alice Feeney book. And yeah, as I said, I loved Daisy Darker, so looking forward to that one. A romance one, a couple of romance ones actually that I went out to get. I wanted to get Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I've heard great things about this book, and I wanted to read this before Out of the Woods because apparently it's like a duet or something like that. So I wanted to read this one before I did Out of the Woods. Yeah, I've heard great things about this one. A hot one-night stand and unexpected pregnancy leads to a young woman to someone she can depend on. From the TikTok author of Next of Kin and Next to You. Winifred has always been wildly independent and not one to be coddled for her limb difference. Win has spent most of her life trying to prove that she can do it all on her own. With some minor adjustments, she's done just fine. Hooked up at a costume party with the incredibly charming Beau changes everything. Win finds herself pregnant and decides to keep the baby, while Beau is elated to step up to the plate. Win is unsure whether she can handle this new challenge. Together, Win and Beau decide to get to know one another as friends and nothing more while they embark on this parenting journey together. But as they both should know by now, life rarely goes according to plan. So yeah, looking forward to that one. That'll be jumping on my TBR cart because I'm still to read a book by that author. And I grabbed Not in Love by Ailey Hazelwood because I picked up her newest one, and apparently this is the first of the duet. I can't remember what it was called. Something about summer romance. Let me just have a look. Problematic summer romance. So apparently this one here is the one before Not in Love. So I wanted to get that one, obviously. And it's by Ellie Hazelwood. So it says, Rue might not have it all, but she's hard enough. A few friends she can always count on. Financial stability she earned as a kid. A successful career as a biotech engineer at Cologne. One of the most promising startups of the field of food science. Her world is stable, pleasant, and hard-fought. Until a hostile takeover and offensively attractive frontman threatens to bring it all crumbling down. Ellie and his business partners want client, period. Ellie has his own reasons for pushing the deal through, and he's a man who gets what he wants. With one burning exception, Rue, the woman he can't stop thinking about, the woman who he wants, is off limits. Torn between loyalty and their undeniable attraction, Rue and Elle throw cautions out the lab into the boardroom windows. Their affair is secret, no strings attached, and has a built-in deadline. The day one of their companies will prevail, but the heart is a risky business, one that plays for keeps. So yeah, I'll be reading this one before the US release. So yeah, that was another one I was aiming to get. These two books I was aiming to get as well, because I have the third one on my shelf. I found the third one at a local book sale, and I wanted to get number 1 and number 2 so that I could obviously read those. So number 1 is Neon Gods by Katie Robert, and the second one is Electric Idol. I'll just read the back of the first one. But he was supposed to be a myth. He was supposed to be a myth, but from the moment I crossed the river Styx, I think it is, and fell under his dark spell, he was quite simply mine. A modern retelling of Hades and Pavone that is as sinful as it is sweet. Society darling Persephone plans, that's so pronounced wrong, sorry, plans to escape the ultra-modern city of Olympus and start over far from backstabbing politics of the 13 houses, but all that is ripped away when her mother ambushes her with an engagement to Zeus, the dangerous power behind the glittering city's dark facade. With no options left, P flees to the forbidden Undercity and makes a devil's bargain with the man she once believed is a myth, a man who awakens her to a world she never knows existed. Hades has spent his life in the shadows. He has no intention for stepping into the light. But when he finds that P can offer her a little slice of revenge he's spent years craving, it's all the excuse he needs to help her for a price. Of course, there's a price, isn't there? Every breathless night spent tangled together, and he'll go to war with Olympus itself to keep her close. So yeah, that's the first one, and then obviously I'll continue on with 2 and 3 after that. So that is everything. I have no idea how many that is. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 16 books and 1 sticker book. So that's really good for a celebration of 50 books for the year. As I said, I have reset my goal to 100, but if I reach it, I reach it. If I don't, I don't. Thank you for joining me in this whole video. I do have some other shopping challenges and celebrations coming up soon. I'm like this far off finishing my last Taylor Swift challenge book, and my color challenge book as well. So yeah, I'm super duper close to finishing those 2 challenges to celebrate those. But stay tuned for future videos until I do those as well, and anything else that I pop up. Also, if you missed my last little library video, that went up not long ago either, so make sure you check that out, where I visit 10 little libraries in my area. And yeah, thank you again for watching this. Stay tuned for upcoming TBRs and reviews and stuff, because I'll put some of these on the TBR cart and some on my TBR shelves as well, and we'll get to them as soon as we can, obviously. Yeah, but thank you for joining me today. Let me know if you've read any of them, and enjoy your day or your evening. Bye.